Lake effect snow, slick roads, and reduced visibility will make your morning commute messy. Good morning, Michiana. I'm ABC 57 meteorologist Monica Ott with your first morning neighborhood weather. We are helping you prepare for lake effect snow advisory with all the details coming up. ABC 57 News at 5:30 continues now.
Covering South Bend, Elkhart, and all of Michiana, this is ABC 57 News at 5:30.
Mother Nature's playing a dirty joke on us.
It's a snowy start to spring. Expect light snowfall to greet you as you head out of the door, and brace yourself for a slippery morning commute. In just seconds, we've got your first warning. Welcome and thanks for waking up with us on this cold spring morning. I'm Keitha Nelson. We begin with team weather coverage. ABC 57's Eric Stelzer is live on the roads getting up-to-the-minute traffic reports. We want you to know what to expect as you gear up to hit the roads. But first, we're going to turn things over to ABC 57 First Warning neighborhood meteorologist Monica Ott, who's live right outside of our studios. Good morning, Monica.
Good morning, Keitha, and we are dealing with some lake effect snow this morning. Now, I want to show you, this is the consistency of the snow. It's pretty light and powdery, and so because of those gusty west winds, it's going to be blowing all over, and that's part of the reason why we do have that lake effect snow advisory in effect this morning. But the snow is far from over. We are still tracking some bands of heavy lake effect snow making their way especially through Berrien County along 31 as well as the US 20 bypass, in addition to I-94. So as you head out this morning, you'll definitely want to budget some extra time, especially if you are in Berrien, Cass, St. Joseph, as well as Elkhart counties in Indiana, to give yourself plenty of time to sweep off all of that snow on your car and get to your destination in plenty of time, as we are dealing with slick roads as well as reduced visibility. And one of the areas that is notoriously bad every time it snows is the US 20 bypass. So of course, Eric was brave and we sent him out. ABC 57's Eric Stelzer is live right now on the 20 bypass. Eric, how is it this morning?
Hey Monica, definitely not very fun being out here today. These snowflakes very thick falling down right now on the bypass. About 5 minutes or so ago, it looked like it stopped for a second. Now it's back on. It's been on and off like that pretty much all morning out here. Now if you are driving today on the bypass, you're definitely going to have some limited visibility, a little bit of a snowdrift as well out here that you are going to have to watch out for. As far as accidents go right now, no major ones to report in St. Joseph County. We'll be calling Elkhart County and Berrien County over the next half hour. We'll be checking in with them, and we'll let you know if there are any restrictions or anything like that that you do need to worry about. Right now, really the only advice I could give you is to slow down and take your time. You should be okay with whatever car you have, but that snow is definitely going to be slippery today as you head out the door and hit the roads. Reporting live in St. Joseph County, Eric Stelzer, ABC 57 News.
Thanks, Eric. And new this morning, there's a traffic alert in Elkhart County that drivers need to know about. Utility work will cause some restrictions along US 6 today. That's between County Roads 56 and 15 near Napanee. Expect slow traffic throughout the morning until around 7 tonight. And at this hour, police are still searching for the man that targeted a retired school teacher. A South Bend elementary school was forced into a lockdown after a man robbed a 65-year-old woman at gunpoint. It happened just steps away from the school. ABC 57's Jacqueline Kelly has the latest details and reaction from parents.
Keitha, this was a very scary moment for parents. The grandfather I talked to says his grandson wants to know if this man has been caught, and now he worries his grandson won't feel safe at school until he is.
He's 7. He's so precious, it's beyond belief.
Carl Brookard was visibly shaken after learning that his grandson's elementary school went into lockdown. Police say it happened after a man pulled out a small black pistol and demanded money from a retired teacher right in front of the school.
This is really takes some backbone or stupidity to do something like that.
The 65-year-old woman was in the parking lot getting ready to enter Measles Primary Center where she volunteers when the man approached her. Afterwards, the school sent this letter home with students. The letter never says that the woman was robbed at gunpoint, if the man was caught by police, and it never gives a description of the perp. Brookard says he isn't happy about that, which is why he wants to see the school implement more security measures.
You know, with the events in Connecticut, you would think that around the country, nationwide, they would take that as a lesson and beef up the securities in our schools.
The school says none of its students were outside when the armed robbery happened, but what upsets parents the most is that this man put their kids in danger for just $15. Reporting in South Bend, Jacqueline Kelly, ABC 57 News.
Right now, the FBI is hunting for a killer in Colorado. Police are searching for the person who shot the director of the state's prison system. It happened around 8:30 Tuesday night. Officers say he was executed on his doorsteps after answering the doorbell. This morning, investigators want to know if Tom Clemens was targeted for revenge. A former warden at Colorado's federal Supermax prison says it's a career that creates enemies.
You have 20,000 individuals. Anyone could have a reason to hurt Mr. Clemens.
Officials are searching for a boxy two-door car that was seen the night before. A fatal shooting leads to a 4-hour standoff with Fort Wayne police. They say it all started when a woman was shot to death while getting off of a bus Wednesday morning. Officers believe this was a domestic violence case. They say the shooting suspect barricaded himself inside of a home with a 3-year-old hostage. Police and SWAT teams moved in, and 4 hours later, the suspect was killed. The toddler was rescued from the home safely. And new this morning, today, Chicago Public Schools are expected to announce the closings of about 50 elementary schools. It's believed to be the largest number of schools ever closed in one place at one time in the nation. They're closing the schools to trim a $400 million budget deficit. Wednesday night, Mayor Pete Buttigieg took to the podium to lay out his vision for South Bend in his second State of the City address. ABC 57's Darryl George takes a closer look at his mission to get people living here to work together.
Most people I talked with have mixed emotions over the mayor. Some like his efforts in trying to revitalize downtown, but others feel like he's overpromising when it comes to job creation and neighborhood safety.
The thoughts and prayers of all of us.
After remembering the victims of this past week's plane crash, South Bend Mayor Pete Buttigieg wasted no time in addressing some of the major issues facing the city.
We need to take more risks around here.
Under bright lights and in a packed auditorium, he laid out his vision for the rest of the year, which includes tackling the city's abandoned house problem, places where crime has been allowed to thrive. Last year, the city saw a record number of homicides.
We cannot tolerate another summer like last summer.
He also talked jobs. This year saw the addition of 70 new ones at Raco, and newfound development along the river is a step in the right direction for some.
I'm hoping that we see the mayor build on the success we've had with culture and actually develop real economic advancement in terms of jobs and income.
The government's real issue is to protect us. We as citizens have to participate in government to get good government.
At the State of the City address, the mayor also made a few new announcements, a new fire training center, as well as a neighborhood commission to tackle violence. He's hoping both save lives. Reporting in South Bend, Darryl Bejoris, ABC 57 News.
Today, President Obama does double duty. He visits both Israel and the West Bank. A rocket attack overnight from Gaza into southern Israel is revving up tension in the region. ABC's Devin Dwyer is in Washington with the latest.
As President Obama heads to the West Bank, Palestinians in Gaza fired rockets into southern Israel. The fresh outbreak of violence, a backdrop to Mr. Obama's meeting today with Palestinian President Mahmoud Abbas. The president is on a listening tour, reassuring Palestinians the U.S. wants a two-state solution to the conflict with Israel, but he's promising no breakthroughs.
I purposely did not want to come here and make some big announcement. I wanted to spend some time listening before I talk, which my mother always taught me was a good idea.
After meeting with Mr. Obama yesterday, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu said he wants to resume peace talks that have stalled.
I hope that your visit, along with the visit of Secretary of State Kerry, will help us turn a page in our relations with the Palestinians. Let us sit down at the negotiating table.
Still, many Palestinians are skeptical and said Mr. Obama was favoring Israel.
President Obama trying to mend fences, trying to create atmospherics with Israel, trying to promise the Israeli people and to talk to them directly that their security is guaranteed.
The president's trip has been rich with symbolic gestures meant to improve relations with both sides. Today he visits a Palestinian youth center and an Israeli museum to see the Dead Sea Scrolls, those ancient Hebrew scriptures. President Obama returns to Jerusalem tonight for a speech to Israeli college students, a speech billed as the centerpiece of his trip. Devin Dwyer, ABC News, Washington.
All right, your time now is 5:39. If you're looking for an excuse to sit around and watch all of the NCAA tournament action, we may have just the thing for you. Still to come, a closer look at one doctor's cure for March Madness. But first,
it might be spring, but that's not stopping Mother Nature. I'm Eric Stelter, and coming up to help you plan your morning commute.
Pull on those winter boots this morning. You may be trudging through some snow to get to the bus stop, and it will be cold. Temperatures will be in the teens. There is a warm up on the way. Details when we return.